monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Vous regardez Language Fluent et moi, je suis Shivani. Hello everyone, this is Shivani and you're watching Language Fluent. Today we're going to revise all your major tenses in quick 8 to 10 minutes. So let's get started. The first ever tense that anybody learns in French is your présent, present tense. Okay? If you remember well, all your verbs in French end with either er, ir or re. And we are going to look at the conjugation of each of the endings. Okay? Let's see. All your regular verbs which end with er take the following endings, that is e, es, e, ons, ez, ent. Okay? For example, je mange des pommes. Je mange des pommes. Manger is a regular er group of verb, slightly irregular, but here with je it's regular, it takes e ending. Alright? Your ir group of verbs, the endings are, you cancel the ir, you add is, it, issos, issez, ent. For example, il finit son travail. Il finit son travail. Finit is a regular ir group of verb, that is finir, that is to finish. So he finishes his work. Lastly, your re group of verbs have the following endings. You cancel your re and you add s, nothing. That means you do not put anything there. ons, ez, ent. Okay, so that's your re endings. For example, nous vendons nos livres. Nous vendons nos livres. That means we sell our books. Vendre is a regular re group of verb. Since it's nous, we cancel the re and we add ons to it. That becomes nous vendons. Alright, let's look at the next tense. Okay, our second tense that we are revising today is impératif. Impératif is called imperative tense in French. Okay, impératif is used for order, request, command. It's not really considered as a tense, but it's more like a mode because you give out order, request or command. Please note that this tense is only conjugated in tu, nous and vous form. Why? Because we cannot give orders to yourself and you cannot give orders to someone who is not present. That is a third person singular or plural. Well, that's why we do not consider I, that is je form, il, elle singulier, il, elle singular and il, elle pluriel, il, elle plurals. Okay? Next point that you really have to remember is that in your tu form with re group of verbs, you're going to drop the s. Let's look at an example. Donne-moi un stylo. Donne-moi un stylo. Give me a pen. Donner is a regular er group of verb. Technically, with tu form, our ending is es. But since it's an imperative tense, we're going to drop the s there. Alright, so that becomes donne. Alright. Also remember, whenever you write nous form in imperative, it is translated as let's. So let's go here, let's study, etc. Let's look at an example. Apprenons le français avec moi. Apprenons le français avec moi. Let's learn French with me. Alright. If you notice, I did not write any of our subject pronouns here. I directly started the sentence with your verbs. Okay. To give you some more examples, I have written sois attentif. Sois attentif. Sois is your tu form of être. In imperative, it is irregular. Hence, it becomes sois. For vous, it is soyez. And for nous, it is soyons. So, sois attentif. Apprenons le français avec moi. Notez les points importants. Note the important points. Well, that was all for your imperative. Let's move on to your next tense. Our third tense for today is futur proche. Futur proche is near future. Okay. How would you make that? What is our formation? Our formation is subject plus aller conjugation in present tense plus your infinitive, that is your infinitive. Okay, so it's that simple. You just write your subject, you put your aller conjugation, and you just copy the verb that you have to conjugate in your futur proche. Alright, Let's see the examples that I have written. Je vais étudier le français. Je vais étudier le français. I am going to study French. Okay. A second example is nous allons acheter 3 chapeaux. Nous allons acheter 3 chapeaux. We are going to buy 3 hats. Okay. Our last example is elles vont venir ce soir. Elles vont venir ce soir. They are going to come this evening. They are going to come this evening. So your translation comes to is going to, are going to. Okay. Let's look at the next tense. Our fourth tense is passé récent. Passé récent, like futur proche, is very easy to conjugate. You write your subject, you put your venir conjugation in present form, you add de, that is the, plus your infinitive. Okay, so you write your subject, venir conjugation, de, and your infinitive form of the verb that you want to conjugate in your passé récent. Let's look at an example. Okay, je viens d'écrire une lettre. Je viens d'écrire une lettre. I just wrote a letter. Okay, let's look at another example. Il vient d'apprendre le passé récent. Il vient d'apprendre le passé récent. He just learned passé récent. Okay, let's look at the last example. Vous venez de réviser la grammaire. Vous venez de réviser la grammaire. You just revised the grammar. So you might have noticed that whenever you translate your passé récent to English, you would write just. Okay. So next tense is future sampler. Future sampler is just your simple future in English. Okay. Whenever you have to say will do, will have, that's when you are going to use future sampler. The French people do not really use a lot future sampler, but still it's a tense and we need to know it. How would you make your future sampler? If it is a regular ER or a IR group of verb, you take the whole verb and you add your endings to it. Okay. For example, je te téléphonerai demain. Je te téléphonerai demain. I will call you tomorrow. Okay. Similarly, for IR group of verb, I have put down an example for you. Vous dormirez tard. Vous dormirez tard. You will sleep late. For your RE group of verb, since it ends with an E and R endings in future starts with A, there would be a vowel clash. Hence, we drop the E in your RE group of verb and then we are going to add the endings. Well, what are our endings in future? We have AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. Please note, it's ONT and not ENT. ENT is used for your present tense, ONT is used for your future. If you realized, all these are just like your avoir conjugation, a little bit. Hence, they are often called, you have your avoir endings to it. But not always, it's like that. So you have AI, ASA, ONS, EZ and ONT. Okay. Let's look at an example of il répondra demain. Il répondra means he will reply. Okay. Since it's a short video, I cannot put down everything. Please remember that there are certain verbs which do not follow any of them. Hence, I mentioned very clearly that for your regular ER, regular IR and your regular RE group of verb, they follow this pattern. But there are certain verbs which are irregular in your future sampler. These are, for example, être, avoir being the first one, aller, recevoir, devoir, venir, etc. A lot of verbs are irregular in future. I have put down 2 of them for you. Nous recevrons le message. Nous recevrons le message. We will receive the message. And j'irai au resto. J'irai au resto. I will go to the restaurant. Resto is the short form of restaurant. Let's look at our next tense. Our next tense is imparfait. Okay, let's see how would you make any verb imparfait. You take the new form of the verb in the present tense. Okay, so you take the new form of that verb from the present tense. You cancel your ONS. Okay, and you add the endings of imparfait, that is AIS, AIS, AIT, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Okay, I'll just repeat once again. It's AIS for je, AIS for tu, il, it is AIT, Nu, it is IONS. Vous, IEZ. And il and el pluriel is AIENT. Let's look at some uses of imparfait, since it is also a past tense. So you might get confused between where to use imparfait and where to use passé composé. So I've summed up some important uses of imparfait here. First, whenever you want to give a description in the past, you are going to use your imparfait. For example, j'aimais beaucoup votre robe que vous avez portée hier. J'aimais beaucoup votre robe que vous avez portée hier. I really loved the dress that you wore yesterday. Okay. Here, if you see, I have conjugated aimer in imparfait. Aimer, A-I-M-E-R, is a regular ER group of verb. Its new form would be A-I-M-O-N-S. I cancel the O-N-S and I add A-I-S. Hence, I get j'aimais. Okay. If you see carefully, I have also underlined que and porter. This would be a quick revision for you for your passé composé rule, where with your avoir auxiliary, if you have a que in the sentence, that is your relative pronoun, your past participle will agree in number and gender with what you're talking about. Here I'm talking about robe. Robe is feminine, hence I added an extra E. Alright. The second use of imparfait is when you're talking about a habitual action in the past. That is something that you did in the past, not once but habitually. Okay. For example, if I say l'été dernier, je faisais du vélo tous les jours. That means last summer I used to bicycle every day. That means it is an action that I used to do every day last summer and not only one day. Hence, I'm going to use my imparfait. Here I've used faire. Faire in imparfait for je form becomes faisait. Alright. Third place where you can use your imparfait is when you're talking about a continuous action in the past. This example will help you understand where will you use your passé composé or imparfait. Let's look at the example first. Quand il est entré, nous parlions. Quand il est entré, nous parlions. When he entered, we were talking. Okay, when he entered, we were talking. I have used passé composé here because here the action is over, it's complete. But my second action of talking is not over. We don't know whether the action has been completed or not in the past. Hence, I am using my imparfait here. Parlions is the imparfait form of the verb parler. Okay. Lastly, when you're talking about your weather conditions in the past. So whenever you're describing your weather, maybe yesterday, day before yesterday, last month, etc., you're going to use your imparfait. Par exemple, il pleuvait des cordes hier. Il pleuvait des cordes hier. That means it was raining very heavily yesterday. Il pleuvait des cordes, c'est-à-dire, that means it was raining very heavily. It's one of the most famous phrases that French people use to describe when it's raining very heavily. So voila, that's all for your imparfait. Let's look at our next tense. Before we start conditionnel présent, make sure that you have watched our video which consists of how to conjugate verbs in futur simple. Okay, then it becomes really easy. How do you make your conditionnel présent? Well, you take the future stem of your verbs. What do I mean by stem? Okay, when I write manger in future, it becomes je mangerai. Okay, my full verb, that is manger, and then I add my endings. So the word that's left without the ending is called a stem. Okay, in the same way, when I say je serai, here my ser is the stem. Okay, another example, when I say j'irai, okay, here my ir is the stem. So stem is something to which you add the endings. Alright, so I take my future stem and then I add my imparfait endings to it. Okay, so that becomes what are our endings for imparfait? AIS, AIS, AIT, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Okay. Okay, let's look at uses of conditionnel présent with their examples. When you want to soften a request, desire or a command, that's when you will use your conditionnel présent. If you remember all your dialogues where you go to a restaurant and order your meal, you always say je voudrais. That's the first ever verb we learned in conditionnel présent. So, je voudrais un café s'il vous plaît. I would like to have a coffee, please. Okay. Second one, to express a possible action in the future, Well, when I say possible, it means it may or may not happen. Okay, so let's look at an example. Il ferait chaud. Il ferait chaud, maybe I can say it might be hot tomorrow. Il ferait chaud. Okay. Next one is when you want to say should, could and would. How would you say that in French? Should, il devrait. Okay. You can also use it with other subjects like je devrais. Could, il pourrait. Okay. Je pourrais, tu pourrais, etc. Okay. And the last one, would, il voudrait. Okay. Je voudrais, tu voudrais, etc. Okay. Should, if you see, devrait is your devoir, devoir, which means to have to. Okay. Could is your is pourrait, that is used, that is made from the verb pouvoir, to be able to. And would is made from your verb vouloir, which means to wish, to want. That's why it becomes voudrait. Let's look at the next tense. Okay, coming to passé composé, which everybody finds really difficult, but here I've summed up the most important points for you. Alright, how would you make passé composé? You write your subject, you add your auxiliaries, that is either avoir or être, that is your helping words, the way we have. Okay, how would you make passé composé? It's really easy. You write your subject, you add être or avoir, okay, and you add your participe passé, that is your past participle. Okay, first let's learn how would you make your past participles in French. Well, it's quite easy. If you have an ER group of verb, okay, if you have a verb ending with ER, you cancel the ER and you add E aigu, that is E acute to it. Okay, for example, parler, spoken, tomber, fallen, donner, given. Okay. If you have an IR group of verb, okay, you only cancel the R. Okay, so that becomes fini. Okay, FINN. Alright. If you have an RE group of verb, okay, you cancel the RE, okay, and you add U to it. For example, vendu, okay, vendre, vendu, descendu, okay, descendu to descend. Okay, I had descended, okay, vendu, sold, okay. And there are of course a huge list of verbs whose past participles are different. Some of them I've put here, like of course être becomes été, venue is from venir, okay, vécu is from vivre, bu is from boire, lu is from lire. Okay, now let's see how would you decide if you have to use avoir or être. Okay, let's see. So I said that whenever you want to make your passé composé, you write your subject, être or avoir, and then you add your past participle to it. Okay, most of your verbs take avoir, okay, and the verbs that take être has a specific list. Okay, so let's look at an example with avoir auxiliary. So when I say elles ont reçu le livre, elles ont reçu les livres, they received the books. Okay, here I've used recevoir. Recevoir has an irregular past participle, so it becomes reçu. Alright, I wanted to revise it with you, that's why I've chosen this word. And reçu takes avoir auxiliary, that's why I have added ONT. Okay, so elles ont reçu les livres. Okay, let's come to verbs which take être. Most of you must be knowing this trick of advent. Okay, if you have not, then this is another way that you can learn all the verbs that take être. Alright, the acronym advent stands for A, that is arriver, to arrive, and the opposite partir, to leave. D stands for descendre, opposite monter, to climb. Okay, venir stands for to come, opposite aller, to go. E stands for entrer, okay, opposite sortir, again to leave. N stands for naître, to be born. M and its opposite mourir, M, okay. So, and lastly we have tomber, that is to fall, and its opposite rester, that is to stay. Please don't confuse rester with to rest. It does not mean to rest. To rest is se reposer, alright. Rester means to stay, as in to stay in a place for a while. Alright. Other than that, we have all reflexive verbs take être as their auxiliary. Alright. Then we have four other verbs, that is rentrer, revenir, devenir, and retourner, which takes être auxiliary. Why do we have this distinction between avoir and être? Because whenever you use your être auxiliary, your past participle agrees in number and gender with your subject. What do I mean by this? If your subject is feminine, then your past participle will take an extra e. If your subject is plural, your past participle will take an extra s. If your subject is feminine and plural, it's going to take es. Okay? To help you sum it up, I have put down two examples for you. Elles ont venu très tôt. Elles ont venu très tôt. They came very early. They came very early. Elles ont venu très tôt. Here, venir falls in my advent list, alright, it's right here. Hence, I have to use my être auxiliary. That's why I have put down sont. Since our subject is feminine and plural, I need to add extra es. Okay? Lastly, when I say moi et ma mère, nous sommes allés à la plage. Nous sommes allés à la plage. We went to the beach. Okay? Aller is your past participle of aller, to go. It falls in my advent list. Hence, I have to use my être auxiliary, which I have put here sommes. Moi et ma mère becomes nous, that is we. Hence, I have to use my nous form, that is sommes and aller. Since I'm saying moi et ma mère, taking into account I am speaking the sentence moi et ma mère, we are both two females here. Hence, I'm going to add extra e and s because I'm not only talking about myself, I'm talking about me and my mother. Merci pour votre attention. J'espère que vous avez trouvé cette vidéo utile. Thank you everyone for your attention. I hope you found this video very useful. If you did, please like and share it with your fellow French lovers. For more such fun French videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And Language Fluent specializes in business courses. So please, if you want one, send us an email or call us on the numbers below in order to have a free demo session with us. À bientôt, au revoir, je vous embrasse très fort.